A fourth and even fifth stimulus check? Have you heard about this? Yeah, we need to have a conversation. Let's get into it and talk about it. Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video, as I am your one-stop shop for everything you need to know with all the latest updates that are going on right now during this very confusing and difficult time. It is my commitment to be here for you each and every day to bring you honest, accurate, reliable, and transparent information in these videos that I deliver to you. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure to subscribe right down below the video. It's totally free to do so, and I'll continue to be here for you each and every day with all of the latest updates with everything going on. So, thank you so much for your support. I truly do appreciate it. Let's get into it and talk about what we talked about at the beginning of the video, a fourth and even fifth stimulus check. All right, so I'm not really sure where this came from, but over the last few days here, I have seen a number of comments down in the comments section. In fact, I've replied to a number of you who have been asking this about a fourth and even fifth stimulus check. So I'm not quite sure where this came from, but considering the amount of comments that I've seen in the last few days here mentioning this, I would have to imagine that maybe an article popped up, maybe somebody else here on YouTube made a video talking about it. I'm not really sure where this came from, but it had to have been somewhere because it popped up all of a sudden, and there are a bunch of comments about this, and I thought, you know what? We need to talk about this for a minute. So here's the thing. In regards to a fourth and fifth stimulus check, I've seen people asking me, is there in fact a fourth and even fifth stimulus check in this next stimulus package? That's a really good question. Here's what I can tell you. We are still waiting on the official announcement of a fourth stimulus check. In regards to a fifth stimulus check, haven't heard a word about it. So no, I have not seen even a single thing about a fifth stimulus check. In fact, I haven't seen anybody of influence at all talk about a fifth stimulus check. And now when I talk about somebody of influence, I'm talking about somebody in Congress, maybe somebody out of the House, maybe somebody out of the Senate, the president, anybody like that. No, I have not seen a single word about stimulus check number 5. We have heard quite a bit about stimulus check number 4. Yes, that is a thing that we've heard a lot about, stimulus check number 4. So yeah, we've heard a lot about that one. But about a fifth one, no, we haven't. However, there is one group that actually has brought up a fourth and even fifth stimulus check. But this was a number of months ago that this was mentioned. So I can't imagine that this was brought up all of a sudden. But I can talk about it here for just a second. And then we'll talk about stimulus check number 4 a little bit more. And then I can talk about what I think would be like my estimations as far as what would potentially be added into this stimulus package. Now, the Economic Security Project, a number of months ago, they actually wrote a report, and in that report they said a fourth and even fifth stimulus check would lift millions upon millions of Americans out of poverty in 2021. In fact, I actually have the report right here. I can see if I can find it. I have a stack of papers over here. Let me see if I can quickly find it. I'll keep talking while I kind of search through here. I know what it seems like. Anyway, the Economic Security Project did in fact release this report a number of months ago. And in it, they did say that here it is right here. This is it right here. This is the report from the Economic Security Project. This one is about, I don't know, I'm going to say like 8 pages, maybe more than that. It's quite a few pages. Okay, I'm not going to count it. But yeah, it's probably 8 or 9 pages, this report right here. This was way back probably in, I'm going to guess like March or April, something like this, that this report was released. And it simply said that a fourth and even fifth stimulus check would help out millions of people be lifted out of poverty this year. But up until then, recently, I have not seen a single word about even a fourth and even fifth stimulus check. We've seen a lot of, let me take that back for a second. We've seen a lot of talk about a fourth stimulus check, but nothing about a fifth. So I'm not quite sure where this is coming from. Maybe I'm completely missing something, but I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think I am. I really don't think I am. I do a lot of research each and every day, and I haven't seen it. And plus, as many of you have said before when we talked about this report here, and we've talked about the fourth and fifth before, many, many months ago, many of you were even saying, why would we even be hearing about a fifth if we haven't gotten the fourth yet? And I totally agree with you. We need to secure a fourth payment before we can even start talking about a fifth one, right? So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and say, I'm guessing somebody else here on YouTube is probably talking about it, and I clearly haven't seen their video, and honestly, I don't really search out other people here on YouTube, and I don't watch their content. I do follow a couple other guys, but honestly, it's like 2 people. So, and I'm kind of friends with those people as well. So, hey, shout out to you if you happen to be watching. I don't think they watch my videos either, but my point is, I keep in contact with a couple of people here. But for the most part, let's talk about stimulus check number 4 for just a second. Now, stimulus check number 3, 2, and 1 were sent out to a lot of people, millions upon millions of people. In fact, almost like 200 million people. More than 200 million people in the form of like almost 200 million payments. So over 200 million people received the first 3 stimulus checks. Now, if there is a 4th stimulus check, do I think it's going to be as widespread as the last 3? In fact, no. I've mentioned this multiple times in other videos. I do not think a 4th stimulus check would be as widespread as the last 3 stimulus checks that we've received. Now, those actually went out to over 200 million people. But I would anticipate, if there just so happens to be a stimulus check number 4, I would guess that it would go out to a much more focused, smaller group of people who are much more like lower income individuals, as in highly focused on the lowest income individuals. I would anticipate maybe something around the $40,000 and less of income. The reason I picked that number out, remember back on stimulus package number, I think it was stimulus check number 2. Yes, it was stimulus check number 2. They were talking about lowering the income thresholds. I believe it was down to around that range, $50,000 or $60,000 or something like that. And they were saying, hey, these are the people who need it based on the reports. Let's lower the income eligibility down for the stimulus check down to this level. And then a bunch of people came out, mostly Bernie Sanders, saying, that's not going to fly with me. No, it's not happening. We need to send it out to a much larger group of people. $75,000 of income or more, or less, I should say, or less would be getting the stimulus checks. And then there was that phase out. Now, here's the thing. We know where we're sitting right now. There's like this great divide. I've talked about that before as well. Some people are doing very, very well right now, while on the other hand, some people are not doing well at all, right? Some people are really struggling during this time. So that's why I'm saying, if there happens to be a 4th stimulus check, I really don't think it's going to go out to over 200 million people like the last 3 did. In fact, I would think it would probably go out to about 80 million or less, probably far less than 80 million. But I'm just saying 80 million because that would be encompassing about the people who receive under $40,000 per year of income. So if we kind of narrow it down to that, and then we say anybody under $40,000 of income, which would be about 80 million people, would be the ones receiving it, we could then say, well, that'd probably be the group that would be encompassed. Now, of course, it could be expansive, a little bit beyond the $40,000 of income. Maybe it's $50,000, maybe it's $60,000, and of course, that would expand it even further to reach more people. But ultimately, if there happens to be one, I would say it's probably going to be on the lower income, highly focused, the people who actually need the money right now versus just giving it out to everybody just because, you're a citizen or something. Now, here's the thing. Who out there doesn't want a stimulus check? Let's be real. Everybody would probably accept it. For the most part, the vast majority of the population, a very high percentage of the population, would accept it. Do they all need it? No, they don't. Not everybody in this country needs a stimulus check right now, but we know it is the lower income people, about $40,000 and less, are the ones who highly, really, really need this stimulus check, right? So that's what we're talking about here. And in regards to a 4th stimulus check, and we know that this stimulus package, the reconciliation bill, is still open right now. It's still open. They can easily add a stimulus check in there. They have more than enough money allocated within this bill to add a stimulus check into it. It would be not much money at all. For about 80 million people, it'd be about $200 billion or thereabout. It's not that much money, right? It would not really cost that much in the grand scheme of things. And when we're talking about a $3.5 trillion package, and we're talking about sending out $2,000 stimulus checks for maybe 80 million or less people, it's not that much. You know what I mean? So maybe 200 billion at the absolute most it would cost, much less than that, but I'm just saying about 200 billion in worst case scenario. So yeah, it would almost be weird to see them not include a 4th stimulus check, especially a highly focused one, because we've heard so much support about it. Now maybe, but I just thought of this as well, maybe this whole 4th and 5th stimulus check business that we've been seeing down in the comments section over the last few days here, maybe this is something having to do with monthly recurring payments. Now that would not be the same, but we have also seen support for a 4th stimulus check, as well as followed up by a 5th and, we've seen it followed up by support for monthly recurring payments. So maybe that's where the confusion is coming in regards to maybe like a 4th and even 5th. Now that would not be recurring payments, but rather it's more like, I don't know, just recurring payments. You get a fourth check and then you just get recurring payments after that, right? So either way, I'm not really sure where this came from, but I'm guessing, a number of you probably saw it. In considering the number of comments that I received about this, I'm just guessing that somebody maybe said something. I'm not really sure, but I do a lot of research on this, and I've not seen anything about a fifth stimulus check, with the exception of that report that I saw that I held up here just a minute ago, showing that from the Economic Security Project a number of months ago. I mean, what was that? Maybe March or April of this year? I think that came out, that report. And in that report, they did cite a fourth and even fifth stimulus check, but they said that in reference to lifting millions of people out of poverty this year in 2021. But as we know, we haven't really seen any action on that, but rather they were just reporting saying, it'd be really helpful for a lot of people. So that's about what we know about this. So anyway, for those of you who have been asking, and for anybody who has come across this, again, not really sure where you're seeing it, but I just wanted to bring it up to you today and just kind of make it all clear that, I have not seen a word about it. But again, I could be missing it, but I'm going to be honest with you, I highly doubt it. I look around many different sources every single day, and I haven't seen a single word about a fifth stimulus check. I have seen some about fourth stimulus checks. That's still out there, alive and well. It's still out there, but five, nothing yet. But anyway, I wanted to come back, let you know what I'm finding, let you know what I'm seeing, and just answer a bunch of questions that I've been seeing down in the comments section in regards to these erroneous reports. I don't know. Honestly, I don't really know where it's coming from. But either way, I'm here for you every single day. Like I said, I'm here with the honest, accurate, transparent, and reliable information every single day to help you out in any way that I can. Of course, we're going to continue watching this very closely. That reconciliation bill is open, and we are getting very close, down to the wire on this thing, as they want to wrap it up very soon. So we should be getting a lot more information going forward, as we have been over the last few days and weeks. And it's only going to get more interesting the closer we get to the actual finish line, right? So anyway, enjoy your day. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. Just recognize I am here to help in any way that I possibly can. Leave your comments, questions down below, and I'll do my best to answer them. And depending on what it is, maybe I'll just make a dedicated video about it if there just so happens to be enough questions asking that same question. So thanks again. I appreciate you. Subscribe, share the video, and check out the other videos right here on the channel. And I will see you again in the next